it still feels weird, to be honest. It feels like you are living between two realities, because it doesn't mean since I moved out from Ukraine, it doesn't feel that I'm not there. My family is there, my friends are there. I'm checking news constantly. Whenever it's missile siren or notification, I'm always there, because I mean, it's like you're living in two different worlds same time, and somehow you're trying to balance in between. The most frustrating feeling I ever had. So a few days before the war started, I was walking with my dog, and I remember this feeling very well. There was this tension in the air, and I had immediate thought that it's never gonna be like that. When the war started, it started for me from the call of my mom, because she told me that Kyiv is bombing, and me and my sister, we need to move out. Basically, I woke up my sister, we had 15 minutes to grab our stuff, and I always thought, because I was modeling this kind of stuff in my mind, what I would do if something gonna happen. So I only had my documents in one place, because normally it's like in different places. So it was the only preparation I had. So I put the documents in backpack. We randomly took some stuff, 2 pairs of jeans. My sister, she took some super weird top, because she was lost, even me. But since I'm older, I think I was the one who made decision. We called a taxi. We paid like triple price. So we reached out the suburb of Kyiv, because our friend, he was waiting there with a car. But it was like post-apocalypse, because people started to run with backpacks, with all the suitcases. They were trying to withdraw some money from ATM. Some of them, they were standing in front of the shops, trying to buy some food, trying to buy some bread or some pharmaceutical stuff, some pharmacies. So it was a huge traffic jam. We managed to get out from Kyiv just because we did it very early, because lots of people didn't know what happened. If we might leave Kyiv like a few hours later, we would stuck in a traffic jam forever. But since the hometown of my parents is located in between Kyiv and Russia, it's a buffer zone, we started to have a military curfew from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m., which means that you can't leave house. They also ask us not to switch on the light in the evening, because they might hit it, like civil buildings. So basically, your life, which was full scale, are limited like this within one day, and there is no clue what's going to happen next. What will you do? Where you can move? I believe it was like the very first day when you're just confused. You are constantly checking the news. Every second you are trying to check something. I also was trying to reach out some friends who work in military or in some, other military services who can give you some idea. But no one's knew nothing. Next day, we found out that within 20 kilometers from my hometown, the first Russian troops was defeated. So the Ukrainian defense army, they destroyed the Russian troops, because they were like very close to my hometown. And we started to get ready. So what did we do? I told my mom that we need to buy some food, because it's a very small city, and if something happened, we need to have some food and some pills. Plus, my grandma, she's 85 tomorrow, so we need to take care about some provision. While we bought some stuff, the news was spreading that more Russian troops are coming. So I called my friends, and together with my parents, we roaming around the city. We collected the bottles to prepare Molotov cocktails. It's already started to spread the news that some civilians have been killed by Russian soldiers, like not military guys, but just some civilians. And at that point of time, I realized that I don't feel safe. And it's the worst feeling you can ever feel. Because normally, when you're born, you feel safe, protected, you feel safe.
Home is where you should feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere. Plus my hometown, like when something happened, you normally go to parents. We spent basically half of a day in a bomb shelter. So you just go down a bomb shelter, sit in there is no internet, you're trying to connect to get some news. When you moved out, when the air siren is end, you made a coffee and it started again. So you never managed to drink coffee, eat something. So basically, as I said, your life is completely limited, and you can't do anything. You're sitting in a darkness because you can't better not to light on the light, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and I feel scared. One day, there were like few people whom we can't reach out, like my colleagues from emergency team. And one morning, we got a message that one of our colleagues had been killed in Mariupol. Basically, Russian troops, they hit the building, and he was in that building. He was 18. Yes, he was 18 years old.
How does that make you feel?
It gives me the feeling of how unfair life is, how cruel life is, because people used to blame, lots of people, they used to blame Putin, and they say fuck Putin or whatever, but I believe it's not Putin who hit that building. It's people who are behind the Russian troops, who press the button, who push the button. It's not just Putin, it's collective responsibility. And there was a person who was living his life. He didn't do anything bad or anything wrong. So how come someone decided that he can come and take someone's life? I used to think that life is fair, but I don't think it is. Life is something when sometimes you are not ready for, especially for this kind of news. If Putin is sitting in front of me, I won't say anything, but I wish him to feel what does every Ukrainian feel since 4 a.m. of February 24. I wish him to feel all the spectrum of emotions which Ukrainian women feel, which Ukrainian mothers who lost their children feel. I wish him to feel how the raped women feel, like just exactly the same emotions. Because I think personal experience will be the most prominent evidence and the most prominent proof of his actions, because he used to proclaim that he came to save someone, but I believe better to save his soul.